Okay, it's the Wednesday, and it's the 13th of January, and I couldn't be more excited to be at the Chef's Playground. Yes, Catherine Young, VP right here, Elevation Foodservice Reps, and you know Rich O'Brien. We're going to get it going, you guys. We're going to take a tour of this beautiful facility. First of all, before we walk in, describe the Chef's Playground so people know what's coming up.
Okay, so we want the chefs to come into this building and basically play with our equipment, talk to our chefs. We will prep equipment for you. We've got walk-ins. You're going to see everything. But feel free to come in here, do menu prep, test out equipment, and you really use it as your playground. That's what this is designed for. You
guys aren't going to believe this. We have a special guest that's in here, just a dropper by.
I know, isn't that funny?
A chef that takes you up on it. Do like our special guests. Just drop on by. Say hello to Catherine and Rich. This is going to be cool. Stick around. We've got an hour of programming for you that's going to blow your mind. Let's step in. What do you think?
Absolutely. Come on in.
Here we go, guys. So just do the play-by-play as we come in.
Well, honestly, just the front area, we're trying to use as much space as we can to really show a lot of the different products, because really we do have everything somebody needs with a food service operation, whether it's small wares, china, cutting boards like from John Boo's, all the way up to the bar equipment. Cambro is just rock solid brand for us, right? And so what we're trying to do is use as much space as we can within the building really to show our products, because we have an awful lot of stuff. So this, of course, used to be an old grow house that we gutted and turned into our facility in the Park Hill neighborhood here. Park Hill in Denver. But obviously this side is where our offices are, where our sales support team is. When we come into this area here, we've got our bar. We'll come back here. We'll talk about the bar and beverage here before too long, once we get a chance to go in here. Our conference room, which has been a great education center for us. And of course, then just more products that we've got on display here. But we'll come back here. One of the things that I absolutely love, and
as far as the playground goes, this would be the jungle gym.
This
is the one where you seek it out, and we have some people in here. So there's all kinds of people in here today. We have Kalina, we have Howard, and look at that. Is it? It is. Justin Brunson's here with us today, and imagine this. He's got meat and a slicer. Let's come over. What's happening, Chef? How are you?
I'm good.
What are you up to here today?
I just came over to slice some of my new Lomo on this awesome new globe slicer that these guys have over here.
Wow. Now, Rich, Justin.
Look at this thing. This thing is like butter. It just feels real nice and smooth. Look at these.
At Studio Kitchen, we have that beautiful
look at that
display spot.
You can get that stuff on this globe slicer. That's what you're looking for, is a real nice thin slice. That way the fat melts on your tongue. This slicer's pretty amazing. It can even make River Bear American meats taste good.
I'll tell you what, doesn't take much for that. Great brand, River Bear American Meats. Justin Brunson here with us today. We have that beautiful globe slicer on display at Studio Kitchen.
You do.
This makes that look like a relic, and it kind of is, right? But look how far the technology's come from then to now.
Well, and I think that when you look at that, this is a workhorse. Right, this is definitely something you're going to probably find in the back of the house more often than the front of the house. The hand crank that we've got over at Studio Kitchen, that's when, if Justin were to be doing a display type deal and he was, trying to really show off to some people, it's just a beautiful piece. But you also have the ability to get super, super thin with that guy as well. Yeah.
I love both styles of slicers, but I like the workhorse. Because I'm a workhorse.
And I think, what's really cool, and thanks for being here. Justin had called me, wanted to talk about some slicers. I told him what was going on today. He's real close, dropped in. That's what we really want to encourage with people. We really want people to feel comfortable just giving us a call, sending us an email, coming in here, telling us what it is you want to accomplish with your food service operation. We'll set it up for you. As you see, we got a 20-foot hood here. We got plug and play. We have 3,000 amp capacity. There's not a piece of equipment that we can't put underneath this hood. And with the Halton hood, when we designed it, I basically asked them to maximize what we could do with the hood. If you wanted to set all steakhouse broilers under here and have a steak off, you could do it because we've got the capacity with the hood.
Can we do that right now?
You want to?
A steak off?
Let's get it going.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, isn't that 1 month after Valentine's Day?
So, menu development.
Yep. Yep. Testing equipment, really culinary based. I mean, we love having chefs on staff. I know.
I've been over here a couple of times where I just wanted to check out a new piece of equipment, and we plugged it up under the hood here and fired it up, and it's just really educational for the chef to like be able to we're very hands-on people, so I got to use the piece of equipment, play with it, and then that is what I want for my restaurant, or I want this model and not this model, or I don't need the extra stuff that this one does. So it really helps you figure out hands-on what you need in your kitchen. I think this is a great resource for Colorado chefs.
So as kitchens go, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just the inquisitive kid, efficiency is really what technology is bringing things to.
100%.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can you talk about a little bit, and anybody jump in, about the efficiency portion of how this is?
Well, you could look at efficiency from energy usage. The Halton Hood's a great example. I mean, one of the things that's nice about this hood, and you'll notice here that there are perforations in the hood. Okay, and these perforations blow a light air down here. Now, some people will mistake that as an air curtain. But what this is creating is what's called the Bernoulli effect. Those of us in physics, maybe we remember the Bernoulli effect of negative pressure, where, like on an airplane wing, the more surface area above versus below causes that lift on an airplane. So what this does here is if you get a lot of effluent coming out, this negative pressure will pull that back underneath here. What we're able to do then is use about half the CFMs to evacuate the cooking equipment and the effluent. What that does then is you're not evacuating air-conditioned air. You're not evacuating all of the energy in the therms that you're creating, so you get an efficiency. And you use half the energy, you use half of the duct work, you use half of the... So that is from the ceiling down. We can also get to some of these other items here, like the CTX or the Turbo Chef, where these don't even need to be underneath a hood. Speed cooking doesn't need to have a hood because of a catalytic converter. So the advances in technology are just fantastic. What I love about this, and my Instagram account, Rich O'Brien's Belly, is that it got to be the belly because I've got really great chefs on staff here as well. I could talk to Justin all day long about certain features and benefits, but unless I have somebody like Shelby or Howard, who's trained as a chef but is also a salesperson, to talk with Justin, it makes all the difference.
Well, let's bring him into the mix. All right, Shelby LeBlue, Howard Lewis, where you at?
Howard's in back doing some dirty work, which is
Shelby,
what he
let's
always
hand
does.
that microphone to Shelby here real quick, and I want to go off of that efficiency and then old school versus new school.
Yeah.
So when we go visit farms and agriculture, there are some farmers that are unapologetically soil farmers. And then technology, and rightfully so, aquaponics, hydroponics, a lot more efficient, can be organic to the end of the day and controlled organic. But there are soil farmers say that you need to have that. Okay, fire. People say fire. I want to cook on fire. I want to cook on gas ranges. I want to have the old school. So some of these efficient things may be a little intimidating or new school. What do you say to those folks?
Technology has come a very long ways, especially since I was in the kitchen full time. Going back to the Turbo Chef specifically, Howard and I constantly tell the new chefs of today, these are pieces of equipment that should be in every kitchen, whether it's a 5-star fine dining establishment all the way down to a ski chalet up at Vail or even our local Mountain Eldora. Technology, it just really takes a lot of that fear away. And that's why we're here with this kitchen, is that we can definitely demonstrate the simplicity of the equipment, even though it seems scary at the time. So yes, hard fuels are important to everyone cooking proteins. And from the stand-up steak drawers, which are infrared, the version we have is an infrared, which cooks at extremely high heats, well over 1,400 degrees Fahrenheit, all the way into a conveyor where you can run a piece of protein through a conveyor, and it's just in one side, out the other. And the chefs, as long as they're at the consistency product for thickness and weights, they have a guaranteed finished product that is very labor friendly, and you can execute at a very high level. So we're here, definitely.
And the days of the impingement of just the straight, this is a pizza oven, you got heat, they've added so many different styles of burners and cooking efficiencies. So this isn't just your typical conveyor that you used to see a Pizza Hut 25 years ago, right? Yeah. And that gives you so many options as far as menu development. That's another thing that, like Catherine mentioned, come in here. We'll lock you in here. If you want to develop your menu, we have local chains that will come in here and do menu development on certain pieces of equipment. If you have a particular piece of equipment that we don't represent with Cambro or Middleby or any of those guys, we don't have a problem with you bringing something in because we know ours is the best. And I think the one other reason, like Justin said, coming and trying this stuff out, he can say, I don't need that bell, I don't need that whistle, which is awesome because I don't want to be talking to him about it in 5 years and have him going, that really wasn't what I wanted. And this way we know people take it for a test drive, right?
Now, Chef Justin Brunson, I know you like to home cook like me, but you're also a restaurant guy and a restaurateur chef. When we talk about the efficiency, but it also lends to consistency. Consistency is everything within a kitchen to be able to get product out to your guests.
With the Turbo Chef, with the CTX oven, they're programmable. And the CTX oven has the ability to have a split belt at 2 different speeds. So you can cook 2 different products at the same time. That one needs a little more time in the oven, the other one needs a little bit less. The Turbo Chefs, they come with a whole program of different proteins and starches, breakfast sandwiches that are pre-programmed. And you can fine-tune those, tweak them so that every time you do a breakfast sandwich, it's perfect.
Yep. I actually have 6 Turbo Chefs at our Culture Meat and Cheese location.
Do you really?
And the first time I went to, use one, I was like, "Oh, this is a microwave." Blah, blah, blah. And I was going to hate it, just being the very true to the craft, and And the first time I used one, I was like, "Well, let's get we need these at every location because we're picking up 3 sandwiches every minute and a half at the airport. I have 3 of them, so I can every minute and a half I can put out 9 sandwiches and then go pop right back in and do 9 more and 9 more and 9 more, and in a high volume place like the airport.
Are you sacrificing quality?
Not at all. It actually makes the quality better because it steams the inside and makes the outside crunchy. And this was 6 years ago when I touched my first one. I was like, I'm not going to like this. I just went in there with that stupid chef mentality of, though I'm old fashioned, but learning about these new technologies of stuff like the Turbo Chef or combi ovens or that type of stuff. And, it's so awesome to have somewhere like this where you can come in and get your hands dirty, bring in some product, actually see how your product and your recipe might react in that style of cooking environment. It's just really awesome.
They're huge with ghost kitchens right now. We're selling tons of them where chains are deciding. I'll give you an example. Old Chicago Pizza has a lot of those is closed, but Logan's Steakhouse is doing well. They're going to start doing Old Chicago with the Turbo Chef out of Logan's and doing deliveries because they can do almost a whole menu with one oven. So a stainless steel table and an oven, and you're off and running.
That's the voice of Catherine Young, VP here at Elevation Foodservice Reps, along with Rich O'Brien. We have Howard Lewis and Justin Brunson, the whole cast and crew, Monica Leonard and Kalina. We are going to show you around. We'll talk to some of the inside folks here that you have questions. They'll be able to talk to you about it. I look at some of this equipment, and I have that dull stare of the dairy cow, man. I can barely program my microwave. Is there support that comes along with this in education as well, Rich?
Absolutely. And what we actually will hold classes here. Now, COVID obviously restricted some things for us as far as having people in here, but we definitely have some outside culinary institutions that come in here to teach their team and some of the entry-level chefs and just some of the basics, almost like the Emily Griffith that you guys are doing around the kitchen that we're sponsoring and super excited to be part of. I have to say one thing. If anybody has had one of Justin's sandwiches, good, right? So love the fact that he's talking about it with our equipment because that's solid, right? And so the team here, obviously we've got a heavy culinary team here. We've got
that's a great place to pause because we'll come back. We'll do the culinary again. Elevation Foodservice Reps. It's in Park Hill. There are a lot of great businesses that you know and love around here. Also, Justin's business is nearby, right across Colorado.
Yeah, we're just right on the other side of Colorado. So me and Rich are becoming good friends as we become neighbors.
It's a little bit troubling, but we're going to get through it.
Best of the best Colorado products right here, River Bear American Meats. We'll break off. We'll come back. We'll dig in. This is a deep dive today. This is what you need, because I believe in order to progress into the future for you guys, saving money is making money, and that's what you need to do. If there's a way that you can be more efficient, these are the experts. You want to talk to them. We'll go through this kitchen. We've got a bar program that we can talk about. We've got some other specialty items, and then we'll talk to the inside folks, the folks that'll help you out. Let's take a break. We'll come right back to Elevation Foodservice Reps. Check it out, elevationfs.com. Back in a flash, the Modern Eater Show continues.
Hey, you guys, Jay here with the Modern Eater Show. Thanks for watching. Don't forget about our YouTube and Instagram channels. A lot of killer content over there. Throw us a subscribe on YouTube. Throw us a follow on Instagram. And thank you for supporting TME. We couldn't do this without our amazing sponsors, so let's check them out right now.
Very proud to be part of the Modern Eater, and chefs, restaurant owners, any food service operators. You know, I know right now that delivery and carry out is bigger than ever, and we got you covered. Cambro has a full line of delivery and carry out items. More economical options are expanded polypropylene or EPP, nice insulated container. The ProCard Ultra is really versatile. It's a great unit because you can actually store cold products down here, hot products up here. It's all 120. There's no refrigeration worries. It's all thermodynamics. Just let us know what your food service challenges are, what it is we can do to help you out, and there isn't anything that we can't do for you. So hope to see you over here at our facility in Park Hill soon, and stay safe out there.
You know, everybody, with several $1 million of hard assets here, insurance is very, very important to us. Ewing Levitt covers it all. Machinery, building, workman's comp. Ewing Levitt's got us covered from the floor to the ceiling, from our alley even to the street. This divider, this press, my cooling conveyor, my oven. Ow, ow. Ewing Levitt covers our counter stacker and our employees too. If you need insurance, take it from Little Rich at Rockalitas. Call Ewing Levitt, they'll get you covered.
I go home, I strip down to my skivvies. All right, here we go. I got it. Hey everybody, Steve Gould from Golden Moon Distillery and Golden Moon Speakeasy. When I get my cocktails to go from Golden Moon Speakeasy, I go home, I kick back, and I watch The Modern Eater. Skivvies. Hey, I'm a Marine. It's skivvies, man.
Welcome back to Elevation Foodservice Reps, Rich O'Brien. This is so cool to be able to hang out with you and really just go into the belly of the beast. And when I say the belly of the beast, I don't mean Rich O'Brien's belly, which you should check out his Instagram. What's your Instagram?
It's Rich O'Brien's Belly.
I love it.
Yeah.
Not only a friend, but just a great businessman and a great local leader. This is how we do business. We do business locally with the best of the best. Speaking of the best, I got to tell you about Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions. He's the man. He's a family man. He's the owner and operator of A-Plus Beverage Solutions. I'm heading up to Monarch Hotel, Casino, Resort in Black Hawk. He did a build-out, Rich, man. This thing is palatial. Lounge and bars, back and forth, one cooler, a glycol system that runs literally a couple football fields away. That takes talent. And
sure
you
does.
can have him too. No job is too small. No job is too large. And that is the truth. He will come and do an evaluation. How is your tap system working? Mm-hmm. He'll tell you, okay, why don't we add a line? Why don't we clean this up? But let's pour efficient beer. If you're pouring inefficient beer, what are you doing, boys?
You're pouring your money down the drain.
Do not pour your money down the drain. It's a simple phone call away. You made that phone call.
I did.
And what are you going to do?
So Jeff's coming over next week, and because we, with our bar system here, and we'll talk about this here in a little bit too, we still have to mount some of our beer systems. We represent Glass Tender along with all the Middleby beverage brands as well, and he's going to come over and make sure everything's dialed in, and then we're going to do a little business together.
do a little business with Jeff. Okay, he'll fine-tune it. He'll add a line, water, wine, coffee, nitro, kombucha, no problem. Jeff Rourke, A-Plus Beverage Solutions. 720-272-3809. 720-272-3809. He's the best of the best. Give him a call, Jeff Rourke, A-Plus Beverage Solutions. Let's go back in. We got a party going on.
Oh, you know what? I think the chefs are doing some cooking because we got to eat lunch.
All right, take it away. Tell me what's going down.
So it looks like what we've got going in here is we've got Howard and Shelby have prepared some stuff here. We want to show you the versatility of the Turbo Chef oven along with the CTX oven. So if I'm not mistaken, we're going to do some salmon, and then we're also going to do a steak. Is that right?
Absolutely. So what we've got in here right now is going to be a salmon fillet. It says please check food, which we're going to do here in a second.
I can even do that. I can follow those instructions.
This is my first attempt here coming out, so I don't even know what is going to be coming out here. So the one thing that we wanted to see was the finished look. So if I was to flip this over, we should have a beautiful, like a pan-seared finish on that salmon fillet. So with some vegetables that would be coming off, would toss those in some seasoning really quickly. But we've got more coming up here in a minute. So this is just a real teaser at the moment. And then I've got some steaks, some strips. Howard and myself are going to be running through the CTX, and we're going to be showing everyone that you can very easily use the technology of these speed ovens to duplicate a very nice entree or an appetizer or a side dish. We could even step it up to desserts. We can get going in through the Turbo Chef with some chocolate bomb cakes also. So, yeah.
One of my favorite things about this equipment, we talk about reduced labor. This will reduce the footprint of the traditional kitchen, and you're going to see that the quality is on par with anything else. We don't have a traditional range. We have two in the back. It comes and goes, but I always let people know it's amazing to see what's new. Once you get over
got
that,
steaks running through there?
Not quite yet. Those are potatoes.
Potatoes.
You can do vegetables, fish. You could do a pizza if you wanted to. You could also do pot stickers.
It's basically endless of what you could put through there. So you're getting a consistent heat. You've got a time that it's running through, and voila, comes out the other side the same each and every time.
Right. And with the two different belt speeds again, you have a lot of versatility.
That's fantastic. That's the Middleby brand, right?
Middleby brand on the Middleby Marshall Wow Oven, Middleby brand on the CTX oven.
I'm afraid to ask what that costs.
It all depends. You're saving money on labor. You're saving money on rent.
I couldn't agree more.
And you're increasing your ability to do more production and make more money in the dining room.
Does this have to be under a hood as well?
This particular one does. There is a hoodless, ventless option coming very, very soon, similar to the technology in the Turbo Chef.
The interesting thing about the ventless option is coming is they're actually doing a collaboration with Halton. So we're fortunate enough to have both our manufacturers working together on a solution for ventless. And, Turbo Chef also being such a ventless, we've worked with a couple of chains locally to where they don't have to put a hood in. They don't have to change their footprint. We have zero clearance. That's technology. Right? We could talk about technological things like the Turbo Chef ovens. We could even get down to, cam shelving, which is shelving for life, probably the most infallible product in our industry. And those are the things that give longevity to people and what they're working on.
JB, Justin Brunson, jump back over here in the mix. Do you see any toys that you have your eye on?
Yes, I'll take one of everything, please.
I know, right?
Yeah. I'm this CTX oven. It's funny. I have been here quite a few times. I've never seen this thing never seen it be used before. I'm really excited to see a piece of meat come out of that thing. Me just being I love cooking steaks. But the thought process of just being able to set a steak on a conveyor belt and it come out the other side is because if your thickness is exactly the same, they should cook exactly the same every time, which, that could really save a lot of money and a lot of in labor and in waste.
Age-old question, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? What comes first, the menu or the equipment? What do you make your menu first as you're building your restaurant?
I think when you're building a restaurant, you think about what your style of food is, and then you build your kitchen around that, and then everything evolves day by day, and, it's like, I think that's what our restaurant friends are really good at, is constantly evolving. I mean, look what everybody just went through in the last 9 months. I mean, everybody just turned their sit-down restaurants into to-go restaurants, and without everybody's. I think restaurant people are always evolving and always thinking and always pushing and striving to be better business people and better chefs and bartenders and servers, and it's just cool to see all this equipment help us as well now. Like, I mean, it blows my mind that you could have one cook 300 steaks in a night that are all perfect without any problems, and really push with a piece of equipment like that.
So as a chef owner, you sleep better at night knowing that your product.
As a chef owner, we don't sleep at all.
I can understand that. All right, Justin, I know you love to role play. Will you do a little role playing with us, Catherine? All right, I'm not going to throw you a curveball here.
He went there.
It's a good
He
thing
said
I have
he
a
wouldn't
mask
go
on
there.
right
All
now.
right, so I'm interested now. Now I'm listening and I'm interested, and so Chef, this is you. You're going to call up and say, hey, I'm Chef Justin Brunson. I'm about to, and you build whatever business you want to build, throw it at her, and then talk to us about the channels that it goes through here, if you would.
Awesome. Hi, this is Chef Justin Brunson. I'm going to build a new restaurant here in Denver. I'm going to build a vegan raw restaurant, because that's just my style. And I was just wondering how you guys could work with us to help us provide back of the house and front of the house equipment.
Absolutely. We have a whole team here at Elevation. Kalina, she can talk about the front of the house because she's our hospitality specialist.
We're going to get her in a bit.
Yeah, I know. And then we've got Monica and Alex. They're our inside sales team. They can answer all your questions. You're more than welcome to come into the building at any time. This is just part of the equipment we have. In the back, we have a whole other warehouse full of equipment that we can pull out. If there's something specific you're looking for, let's talk about it a little bit more question-wise, that we can make sure we have what you need here. Do you know what type of menu you actually want?
Yeah, I do. I think I definitely.
Weren't you supposed to say please hold at that point in time, and then Monica comes in here, Monica or Alex? Please hold. I got you, but please
Nobody
hold.
passes the buck
Come
here.
on over here, Monica Leonard. And Monica Leonard, this is a gal that we've known for years. She's very well esteemed and distinguished. Monica, you are so well connected into this industry. Probably if somebody calls you up, you probably already know them. But this off chance with this weirdo who wants a vegan wet restaurant, which is fine. You can do that.
Let's continue.
Go ahead, if you don't mind, Catherine. Let's talk to Monica Leonard for just a minute. So now you're into the mix here.
Yes, I am into the mix, and I am actually just starting out in the mix. So I would ask some basic questions.
Let's bring Alex over to this.
Exactly.
Come on over, Alex. Do we have another microphone?
Alex is definitely a wonderful, wonderful asset and resource. She's been doing this, and so I've been fielding a lot of the questions to her and having her help me out. So what I would do is ask some basic questions and probably relay that to Alex, and Alex can finish it off.
Awesome. Well, I guess, with my new raw vegan restaurant that I'm opening, because that's really my style of food, I would really love to be able to grow some microgreens in my restaurant. I think it would be like a really fun thing to be able to do, and I hear there's some new pieces of equipment that do that for a restaurant. Do you guys have anything like that?
Yes, we actually have the Carter Hoffman that's sitting right over there. It's our garden chef, and you could come in and we have tons of different greens that we could show out for you, and
We actually unhooked it because it grows green so fast.
It does.
Yeah.
So I could have this thing in my restaurant, figure out what I want to grow, and maybe even do a test run in this machine of
for
the
sure.
microgreens I want to grow in my own restaurant for my vegan raw restaurant.
Yes, and a lot of those are already pre-programmed, so you can just figure out what seeds you want to grow, and then pre-programmed, and it's all in a controlled environment inside.
I mean, that is awesome. Where else would you get a chance to do something like that?
Well, and if you want a counterculture to your vegan, because I know that's your style, we do also have what we call a tender chef, which is a steak ager.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's sort of the technology again that we're going with. A lot of times, a lot of the chefs during the summertime will have their garden, right? Well, what do you do in the wintertime? How do you keep things fresh? And the thing about this that's so cool is the rapidity. It's not even a word of how fast it will grow. So, but yeah, if anybody wants to try this thing out, give us a holler. We
Greg's
really
over
want you
here.
to kick the tires.
Greg's over here figuring out he can grow something else in here. I can tell you that right now.
Well, Dan next door, he asked me that one time. And they're like, well, it's a weed, you know.
You're also working on a comfort food concept too, right? Burgers and chicken and what other things are in your comfort food concept?
Man, you know me, I just like to cook pretty much whatever. But when you wanted to start playing role play, I figured I'd go all the way out there.
So what are some of the strangest requests that you've gotten to come in here and look at, equipment-wise? What are some of the things that throw you a curveball? Can you find things if you don't have them? Is that something that's possible as well, guys?
Yes, I'd say so. I've only been here for like a year and a half, so as of for all of the lines that we have, I haven't really been thrown a curveball quite yet because we have such a versatile amount of things here. So I'm just waiting to get that curveball, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, show off. You got everything in here.
But
She's
you know
so
what?
good at her job, she hasn't had any curveballs, is what I heard.
Remember the guy that came in and was asking if the oven would make the fish less fishy? It's like, well, no. Fish is fish.
Thanks, Al. So, look at the boneyard.
Yeah, let's go check the boneyard out.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah, and, as we go by, though, I got to stop again. So this cam shelving is still my favorite product in the whole industry. And I know that sounds funny because there's no burners, but this is shelving for life, okay? It's an antimicrobial encapsulated
I don't know
steel.
how they make money off it, but you're going to have it forever, right?
Well, that's it. Well, think about, Malcolm Gladwell wrote that book called The Tipping Point, right? Where you get to a point that everything goes a certain direction. Do you see plastic trash cans anymore? They used to all be metal, right? Problem with metal is it rusts. Rust is a dietary supplement. It's what grows in it that's not so good. So the cam shelving, you can remove these shelf plates, run it through the dish machine. It's antimicrobial, and it's guaranteed for life. And we have no corner connectors. So this is still one of the most infallible products in our industry. I had to hit it as we went by.
How important is shelving too, right?
Right.
I mean, incredibly. When you don't address that right away, you find yourself putting things on things you don't want to,
right,
that are unsafe and unstable, and then all of a sudden you're tipping over a lot of expensive
stuff. The sanitary aspect of this thing too is huge. Obviously, with what's been going on, people are very concerned with that. But imagine being able to tell an operator, would you like to eliminate a capital cost eternally? That's basically what that shelving does. So back here we got a little bit of got the boneyard going back here, and honestly, we've got our Bally walk-in here as well. And I think it's important. It was really funny when we put this in. We decided
that thing
isn't that cool?
It's like a vault.
We call this the airlock for our spaceship.
Now, is this something you don't rep this though?
Yes,
do you?
yeah,
you do.
Yep,
you
absolutely.
rep this walk-in.
Yes, we do.
You can come in and say, "I love this," and I'd like to have.
Yep.
This.
Yep, and this also will show you, we did all the little bells and whistles in here to show you the different finishes.
Yeah, it looks like a hot rod.
Yeah, it is. And we did the shotgun, so there's a freezer there. So we got the cooler freezer. And if you guys notice the capacity here, we've had a few chains come in here and set up mock kitchens and do their menu development, demand time flow, those types of things. So if you look here, we've got storage. You want to send some of your product in here for us and have us hold it until you get here? We're happy to do that, right?
That's interesting.
Yeah. So freezer storage, cooler storage. And then you'll notice back here we've got just all sorts of different equipment. A little bit cluttered because that's what sort of happens.
Is it for sale or
is
this?
Course,
What is this?
It's demo equipment. If somebody wants to buy it, we'll sell it to them. Like this is our summer dinner series unit.
That's what we
This
use.
is what we would.
And
we
the
would,
chefs loved it.
Yeah, we would bring that to the summer dinner series. Obviously, we've got our Cambro meal delivery carts. The salad bar back here, which, the Cambro salad bar has a real special place in my heart because of the Chef Ann Foundation and the Let's Move Salad Bars to School program that I got to be involved with. Originally started with the Obama administration and was Michelle Obama's real priority for her was good eating. Ann Cooper just recently retired from Boulder Valley School Districts, but over the course of the last 10 years, we've donated more than 7,000 salad bars to schools around the country for healthy eating. And the cool thing about it is obviously the versatility of the unit. We'll talk about that more as time goes on throughout the year. But
don't be afraid, Jay.
Well,
jump on in there, babe.
We have seen childhood obesity start dropping as far as a percentage, and I will fight to the end point towards the Chef Ann Foundation and everything that she's done and the foundation has done for healthy eating in schools. It's been really important.
Yeah, and don't sleep on your salad bar because they will be back.
They will be.
That's for sure.
Well, and we've used this during COVID. We were able to show school districts how to use this as a meal delivery system too, because there are casters on here, right? And you can, what we were able to do with the cam chillers in here also was we were able to load up boxed foods, boxed lunches, right? And able to wheel these because it's small enough to fit with the rails down, small enough to fit through a normal door. So what people were doing in the kitchens of the school, preparing the foods and going out for people driving by, picking up their food during COVID, because a lot of kids, the only meal they get is at school. So anyways, just wanted to bring that up. It's really dear to my heart, the Chef Ann Foundation.
And your new vegan restaurant, Chef, would really enjoy it.
We're going to have a salad bar in every one of my new vegan raw restaurants.
Man, I think you'd probably do good at it, though.
I'd probably be great. I'm a great vegetable cook. My wife was vegan. So.
And you've been eating a lot of vegetables lately, too, right?
So I do want to do
wife's vegan.
Well, she was.
Oh, she was?
Yes, she was.
It's hard to be married to Justin Brunson.
Well, and Greg, I got to tell you, the other thing, too, is let's have everybody do kind of a little picture of this because we're going to do a before and after. About 6 months, this place will look a lot different.
Rich is going to turn this into a studio for filming. Okay, again, Elevation Foodservice Reps. We've got the chefs in the you look at down that gauge right there. Down that narrow gauge is some delicious food. We're going to break away. We'll come back. We got the whole cast and crew here. Justin Brunson, he's joining us here today. It's fantastic. Rich O'Brien and Catherine. We are going to go back into this kitchen after the break. We'll look at some delicious food. And then one of the things that's near and dear to both of us, Justin, bars. We love the bars.
I can't wait to go back to a bar someday.
I know, right?
I haven't been to one in 9 months.
What is that like? Like, what does a bartender do anymore? That's so sad. That's a part of the experience when it comes to hospitality.
Yeah.
Hospitality is finest. You got to be locked and loaded and ready to go. We're 25% now, but it's going to build and it's going to get better. But I can tell you one thing. As you're in that rebuilding process, I know you're lean and mean. You know what you need to add. You know what you can afford, and you know what saving money does for you. Lots of great ideas to save money in here, lots of new innovative equipment, and when we come back, we're going to show you some of the coolest stuff, and we'll taste some food, too, from this delicious equipment. Back to Elevation Foodservice Reps. Check them out. These are a great sponsor of the Modern Eater Show. It's in the kitchen. Usually it's at Studio Kitchen, Colorado, but we're in the kitchen. The great chef's playground right here in Park Hill, but check them out. elevationfs.com. Back in a flash, the Modern Eater continues. I love the laugh.
You're ready.
Like right now?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. It's Kyle Mendenhall. I'm talking with my good friends from the Modern Eaters Show. Keep supporting them. There's a lot of good stuff happening.
We started Meridium Spirits because we love the way that spirits and cocktails can bring people together to socialize, to bond, to have conversations. Well, right now we've got some big conversations to have. Coop Vodka and Coop Gin are available at liquor stores across the metro area, but if you can't find us or would like to have us behind your bar or at your restaurant, send us an email, info@meridiumspirits.com. We know things are a little different these days, but think of us the next time you're planning a virtual happy hour or a socially distant picnic. And keep an eye on our social media, Coop by Meridium, for all the latest and greatest.
Hey guys, it's Caroline Glover. I'm the chef owner of Annette out at Stanley Marketplace. Citrus is about to be in its prime. I just want to thank everybody for showing so much support to small local restaurants in this really hard time. And you're watching the Modern Eater Show.
Back to the show in just a second, you guys, but it's time for bread, and specifically Aspen Baking Company. If you love bread like me, aspenbaking.com is where you go to get that bread. And all the people in the background, and we're going to show off the stuff at Elevation, they'll agree Aspen Baking has been making some of the freshest and most delicious bread in the city since 1994. Chefs, if you don't have the wherewithal to bake your own bread, come down to Elevation, buy an oven, go back, bake your own bread. If you don't do that, then you go to aspenbaking.com and you get your awesome, delicious, fresh bread from them. They don't freeze it. They don't put the chemicals. They don't put fake colors. They don't do any of that stuff. They do the good stuff, and they do it the best. aspenbaking.com.
Okay, thank you, Jay. Jay Parker doing a great job here with us today. Chef Justin Brunson. We're going into the front of the house now, Justin. You know front of the house, too, don't you?
I do know front of the house. I know I stay out of it and stay in the kitchen.
Is that what you do?
No, I'm just joking.
But you have to have that input too, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean,
when the food comes out, it's got to look good.
Well, the hospitality's more important than the food most of the time, I think.
I couldn't agree more. Okay, Rich O'Brien, Elevation Foodservice Reps. We have Kalina here with us. Kalina, this is the fun stuff for me. I like front of the house stuff too, because this is what's really putting your best foot forward. This is what's showing yourself off. This is what shows you care detail, right? Okay, more role playing. Are you ready for it? Here we go, role playing. Justin and I are putting a restaurant together. I'm front of the house, he's back of the house. He's the guy I'm going to try and make his stuff look pretty. So there'll be some important things to you, and there'll be some important things to me as front of the house. So where do you begin? You just start asking us questions of what we need. Go for it.
Yes, really trying to find out what your main priority is with your tabletop. You know, you've worked really hard to have your facility, create those recipes. You want to have a tabletop presentation that's going to support that. So we're here to totally help create that ambiance that you desire with that. So we start asking about, with dinnerware and glassware, is it the aesthetic that's the most important? Is it durability? Is it going to be price? And then we can go from there.
Okay. So, Chef, we talked about it a couple of times, right? We're going to have a wine program.
Yeah.
Correct? Cool?
I like
And
wine.
we're doing some expensive steaks.
All right.
Okay, so on the plate, so round, square, how do you want to display these steaks first?
I am a round plate guy. No square plates for this guy. I know a lot of people like them, but it's one of my big no-nos.
Round. Okay. Colors? Is there a color you have in mind? I like white because it kind of shows the contrast.
I love white, but there's so much new cool stuff out there that elevates the look of the food. I'm seeing some blue stuff up here that I really think, a lot of this earthenware style that's not $40 a piece because they're handmade and they're more durable. I'm not sure this brand right here, but
Yep.
what brand is this?
That's the Steelite Robert Gordon Potter's Collection.
Yeah, all these new Steelite plates that they're coming out with that have that hand-thrown look, but the durability of a commercially made plate are huge for restaurants because I bought $50 a piece earthenware hand-thrown plates, and they were all gone in 2 weeks at my restaurant before. So I see the need of these beautiful Steelite plates. Really, this blue one back here is got those beautiful. It actually looks like somebody's put their thumb in there and threw the plate out. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful.
So I'm a creature of habit. I would really love to use your expertise to maybe show me something new or something that's innovative right now, and just what's out there that I would be missing.
Yeah, so a lot, especially with the pandemic and people are doing more with delivery and to go. Reusable is huge right now. Or if they want to move something away from disposable, something that's a little more aesthetically pleasing. So melamine has been huge for dinnerware and reusable products. We have a lot of melamine over here. It's not your old style melamine. I love a lot of our collections because they have more of a matte look to them. So they're not shiny, or they don't look as shiny like plastic, so you can't really tell it's plastic or melamine until you touch it. So we've got a lot of different. Is that
going to do anything for the food, though? Is it going to retain or give off any of that? And did you call it a plastic? It's just a high polymer plastic?
Yes, a melamine, a durable plastic. I'm just saying melamine has been trending.
Will that leach the food into it? Will it discolor it?
No, That's where some items, like some whites, you do have to worry about that. Like I wouldn't be trying to put maybe like a tomato soup in a white melamine bowl.
Is it lighter? Can I hold one?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Touch it.
That black one over there earlier, I was like, oh, cool. That's a really cool plate. And then I picked it up and it was melamine. I was like, oh my God, it's melamine, but it's actually cool.
But and think about the outdoor dining.
That one
right
so
there. This is all melamine
like pottery
over here.
from over
So
here.
it's going to be a lot more durable than your china. So just something that's trending now somewhat.
What about
is
heat retention?
With the melamine, that's something that like I know we started talking about. You're going to do like steak. I wouldn't be putting the melamine on a steak
we're going to do
plate.
steak and ramen.
Well, to me, that's a perfect for a fast casual restaurant. Even back in the day when we had Mashed Piece Deli, we had glass plates, and we let the customers bust their own tables, and they're throwing them into a bus table. If I would have had that melamine plate back then, that probably would have saved me about $4,000 a year. Just because, the bus tub's busy and people don't really, they're just throwing stuff around. They don't know, So I think if we could have been using those melamine plates, if they would have had something back then that looked as beautiful as those, it would have saved us $4,000 a year right there just in broken plates of people busting their own tables.
And there's a lot of outdoor dining now too, so the non-breakability is something that's really
fantastic.
Nice as well.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So a mixture of both may be right up our alley. I'm so glad that you showed us that.
Definitely.
That's fantastic. But we're a high-end steakhouse. Me and Brunson only have the best, right? The best of the best. But when it comes to glassware, glassware comes a long way to where it's not your traditional, and even some stuff, and I don't know whether you have it, you can drop it on the floor and it's fine.
Right.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, somewhat. Yeah, we definitely
Go ahead and throw one in.
Yes.
Well, none of that.
Gonna go with it. We definitely have some glassware that has treatments along the rim, a pulled stem, so that if it does break, it's not gonna snap here or here. It's treated so that if it does shatter, it shatters into chunks, not multiple millions little pieces you're trying to clean up. So we definitely have treated glassware, something that is more durable than others.
Huge.
Yes.
I don't know how many wine glasses I've seen get snapped getting polished. And you want to talk about a very dangerous thing when you're polishing, you got your hand in there. Next thing you know, you got a server that stabbed himself, squirting blood everywhere.
The worst.
Having those
safety is important.
Yeah, those tempered stems are a huge bonus in the restaurant.
And something else that's really important with glassware, and where you see a lot of it break is during the washing. So making sure you have the correct glass racks, and that's something that you can utilize us for. We can make sure we suit you with the correct Cambro glass rack, that it fits it correctly so it's not going to break in the dishwasher.
As a restaurateur, when you hear something break, you hear dollars, or do you hear is everybody okay? Which one's first?
Is everybody okay? And then dollars. Really, if it's a big stack. I know.
Can you gauge when things hit the floor? They're like, that was 4.
Oh, that was 6 plates.
Exactly.
Well, and another beautiful thing about Cambro, what Kalina's saying is we can customize those dish racks for the glassware, and which is great.
And it really helps save in breakage, especially with glassware, having the right rack to go into the dishwasher. I learned that the hard way, just like most things in the restaurant business, I guess.
So like everybody, a lot of people are cost-driven. So, and when you're in these types of things, everybody wants to get the best of the best. Do you work backwards with somebody's budget, or do you just go forward and that's the number? How do you approach that, Chef?
I love it when I come in somewhere and I tell somebody my budget and they actually respect it. And that's one of the things that I've noticed that they've done here. I've come in here a couple of times and we've talked through it, and I know you want that, but this is your budget, so this is a reality, and I think that's the thing is knowing what reality is.
Yeah, and in my case, I can't just grab it and run because they'll catch me. So this is great. What else would you like to show us? Just like, I need to show this off. It's so important. I fell in love with it. What is that?
I think going back, you're talking about the steaks and with the heat retention.
Okay.
Something I love with our plateware, we can grab these up here. I think most people don't really think about the footing. And so ours is a fully glazed, so you're not going to get any metal transfers from on your tables. The stackability, how this was shown, the stackability, so it's going to stack tight. It's going to save you storage space. I know some people, they turn this over. This is part of the Steelites Distinction product, some of their most durable product out there. is that it has these prongs from when it went through the firing process, and that allows it to have the fully glazed footing. Again, so you're not going to get metal transferring from stacking them. It's tight stackability. So it's those little things that people don't think about.
Is that footing for the bottom or the top? Is that to have a smaller surface area so that you don't have to have as much food on your plate, or is it really for the bottom?
It's for the bottom.
It is? Okay. No one. What? I told you I was going to ask the inquisitive kid question.
No, it's fine.
Did you know that,
No,
Chef?
I didn't know that.
But if we're going to throw a big old steak on that, that might not be the plate to go with.
Oh, well, that's not the right size.
The filet right there.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's where there are different sizes with the rim. You can have more of a narrow rim or wide rim, depending on what you're trying to plate on it.
Yeah.
You know, the cool thing is, Kalina's, she's a little humble here, but her depth of knowledge with regards to this is great. And, we've got some tables here. And what's really cool, if somebody were to call up and say, this is the concept.
She'll set it up for you.
Absolutely. And, she'll take their idea. And like I always say, tell us your food service dreams and we'll make it reality. What we can do then is, maybe it's somebody that wants to open a Vietnamese restaurant, call it, afternoon in Saigon. She's going to think in her mind, what should I bring in? What patterns, what plates, and get them all set up in here for that particular chef if they don't have something specific that they want, and they can come in and they can go, it's almost like an architect's drawing. I like this, I don't like that, can we move this? So we can get that feedback, and then she can build that entire opening order, that whole tabletop presentation, because let's not forget the accessories with American Metalcraft. Not only is it steelite and everything we've got within that brand, but now we've got all the accessories and some of the melamine with American Metalcraft, some of the other things that Cambro does on the tabletop as well. So we can really build that front of the house dream that you've got.
That.
And it's emotional. I mean, we talk about it all the time. When people make these decisions, and Chef, I think you would agree, it's a pretty emotional decision because this is it. This is the presentation. I think about when we had Vail Resorts in about a year ago. They did a cutting here, and they were doing platings, taking different plates, trying different foods. Pizza's going to look a lot different on that than on that. Let's check it out. So pretty cool.
I love these different shapes that you have going up here as well with the plates.
Melamine molds are much easier to make than your typical clay-based or glass-based china. It is more of a, and you were talking about heat retention. Always remember that plastic is an insulator, metal's a conductor. So you don't usually get that transfer out of the product through plastic like you might through a metal or a ceramic.
Why do I love to drink my coffee in ceramic? I love a nice ceramic.
I'm the same way.
I don't know. I only drink mine out of Yetis.
Really?
Yeah.
I see Jay drink coffee out of like a metal mug, and I go, how do you do that?
I think it probably has a lot to do with the porous nature of ceramic versus clay-based. I really do. I think that you get a little bit of a retention in a clay-based because it's got a little porous nature to it, whereas with a lot of the glass, it's non-porous. So it's
and the glass is warm, the mug gets warm.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean,
maybe that's a comforting feeling.
Yeah, and with metal, once you put something in it, I mean, if Jay tries to put orange juice in there and then have coffee later on, he's got a little funk of orange juice in there, right? Yeah. So.
Flatware as well.
Yes, we have lots of flatware. I guess you could say we have so much that we don't have it displayed right now, but we can definitely have
neatly
flatware.
Sorted in boxes right now.
Well, it's a continued evolution.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's something, again, the bottom line is you make a phone call. Kalina's going to talk to you, and she's going to say, what are your dreams? I'll put together 2-3 different concepts for you. That's fine. You come down. They'll take care of it. That's what you call personal customer service, and that's what we need more and more of these days. Some of them you just call up, they answer the phone, and then they've got you in need. So front of the house, back of the house, right?
Yeah.
It's like the mullet of restaurants.
Yeah, we've got
Party in the
furniture.
front.
Yeah, we've got buffet. We've got I think when the pandemic hit, we were so fortunate because Cambro has such a wide variety of delivery options as far as bags and go boxes and things like that. And that's one of the series that Justin's going to help me with my Instagram page is Rich O'Brien's Belly is going to start doing a little series called The Belly and the Go Box. And I'm going to do The Belly and the Go Box, the Cambro Go Box that's going to hold things hot and cold. And with Justin, we got some nice odors that come from a lot of this stuff. So just...
I mean, you guys really, from A to Z, from you and me, you've got the knives, you've got the bar, you've got everything. And I mean, there's truly nothing.
Yep.
The bar, is there anything notable?
Well, we've been representing Glass Tender for a long, long time.
Over there.
Yeah, Glass Tender, what I wanted to show with the bar here. So Glass Tender was one of the original, John Hall, the owner of Glass Tender, designed the modular bar die. And what the modular bar die, as you see, is a metal frame structure here. The beautiful thing about this, and I am having Jeff come over to help us with some of our lines, I put plexiglass on here so you could see how you can run all your conduit through the bar, all your drains, everything through here, and it gives you the efficiencies that you need if something breaks, right? You're not having to tear apart that whole stick-built bar, right? You have the ability to do that. Now, Glass Tender is absolutely the Ferrari of bar equipment. You know, they're the company that somebody go, hey, I need you to get that cheaper. It's like, well, I'm sorry, this is our price. Yeah, but I need it cheaper. I'm sorry, this is our price. Okay, get out of the way. The guy behind you wants to buy a bar.
Everything's running through there.
Everything.
And plumbing, the whole 9 yards.
But here's something else that a lot of people don't realize. When you buy a modular bar die, and as you see, it's mounted to the floor, right? This is a piece of equipment. So if you're opening a restaurant, you're renting your space, and you build a wood-built bar, if you decide to move, that has to stay. That becomes part of the building, right? With this, it can go with you, okay, because it's a separate piece of equipment. The other beautiful thing about that...
Would this not be considered construction either?
Well, it'd be considered construction, but it's an individual piece of equipment, right? Because we've mounted the equipment on the modular bar die. There's no legs on that equipment because of how it's mounted.
That is super cool.
So for cleaning and all that. But what's really cool is you get to depreciate this equipment with your equipment schedule, which I believe is 5 years now, might be 7, as opposed to the building, which is 30. So it gives you a little bit of a tax incentive as well.
Saving you money every way they can. How about behind the bar, Rich?
Well, again, we've got our Jackson Sear dishwasher, or glass washer, excuse me. And what the Sear is steam elimination and energy recovery. So basically what they're doing is a lot of times when you're in a bar, somebody opens up the glass wash, you get that big billow of steam that comes out. That has basically been eliminated here with what they're doing in the back there with that heat exchanger, and then reusing those lost therms to heat water. So again, efficiencies, technology, things just keep changing. But again, we've got our whole lineup of Glass Tender bar equipment. We've got our back bar coolers. Again, Jeff's going to come over and help us set our taps up and get those off and running. We got our Nitro Cold Brew from Joe Tap, another Middleby brand. We're just super excited. Yeah.
This makes Studio Kitchen look like the ghetto. This so cool.
No, a tiny home. Let's not say the ghetto. Studio Kitchen's very nice.
It's palatial. It's everything you'd ever want. How about this? I'm seeing a lot of catering type of stuff.
You bet. Yeah. Kalina, can you go ahead and talk to them a little bit about that?
Definitely. Yeah, we have a lot of banquet and buffet. So if you're trying to get into catering or trying to put some type of events on, we have multiple different manufacturers.
Looks so sexy.
Here.
Look
I know.
at that.
Yes, we have a lot of options where we can do different powder coatings. You're only really seeing like the copper and the black. We can do really any color. We can do it so it's brushed. We've got hammered. What we're not really showing here, this is a lot of like our chafing dishes, beverage dispensers, but we do a lot with our buffet risers. So that you can really kind of customize to how you want to put your event. A lot of stuff, it collapses down, so it's great for storage. Lots of different options here that we're happy to review with you.
Unbelievable. You guys have it covered. You work with the best of the best brands, and they're all right here. Elevation Foodservice Reps. ElevationFS.com. You walk in, you see the displays, kind of the newer or seasonal stuff.
It's trendy.
It's trendy.
Yes.
And with the
lots
seasonal
of trendy
flair.
items.
You just walk in, it's like you're home away from home, the chef's playground, as Catherine has dubbed it. What else is in here? Because the food is calling our what do you have?
I think we've got, the thing that I'm super excited about is, and you guys know how much I love Modern Eater. I love it. You guys were really... You got us through this. You got those of us in the food service industry and having the ability to do the fun things like the dinner series and what we did at Cambro. I love you guys.
I can't believe we pulled it off.
I know.
It
I know.
was pretty good during COVID. Everyone was responsible.
Very.
It was great. It felt nice to have some normalcy.
Yeah. Well, it was great to get dirty and get sweaty with the team and put equipment out in the middle. I mean, think about it. We put a kitchen on a sidewalk.
And we're going to do it again. I haven't told you yet.
Oh, no, I'm right. But I think one of the things...
Hey, guess what you're doing?
I'm just super excited about being part of the organization, the platform, the show. And I know that we've got, once a month, we're going to be getting ourselves going here, and we're going to talk about other things. But, food service goes beyond just the restaurateur, right? I mean, I look over here and I see my Cambro Air Curtain Ultra, which is for healthcare. We do so much work with the hospitals and some of the long-term care, because one of the things that people forget is, yeah, it may be a hospital, but that's just a kitchen in that hospital. And these are chefs, and these are people that, they have the creative minds like Justin. They just chose to go a different way. So they
were smarter.
Well, as things unfold and we do more shows from here, we can touch on things like what we do in healthcare for food service.
Love to.
Chef Nick Sortor, our corporate chef, who's based in Arizona, used to be the culinary director of Parker Adventist. So as you see in here too, we have a lot of space here still, and it's
that rollaway bar there. At this
it
point,
is.
You probably
don't
do. You probably don't do this, but if somebody says, "Hey, I want to rent that,"
that's a cam bar. Yeah.
That,
This was actually, we brought this in for the summer dinner series. Kevin Galaba.
Did it work?
It did. We only used it one night, but it did work. But what we're able to do is move this in and out. We've got a full ice bin. Again, it's Cambro. It's so sanitary. I mean, imagine if this thing got all dirty, you just hose her down, right? It'll virtually last forever. It is a rotational molded unit, and boy, I'd love to get you guys out to the Cambro factory sometime. It's super cool.
Cambro, that's a solid brand. Those guys are innovative and just cutting new road in every facet.
New products.
Well, here's what strikes me about Cambro is Cambro is not worried about you being a return customer in the sense of that piece of equipment. Where a lot of equipment will wear out on you, it's going to break down, you're going to need maintenance, you're going to have to circle back around and possibly buy a new piece. This is built to last.
Yeah, that comes from the top down too. Argyle Campbell, the owner of Cambro, he has a comment that I love. Our customers will not pay for our inefficiencies. And I love that, because one of the things that he says, it has to be the best quality. Cambro's focused on food service and quality. And, then we're fortunate enough with our Middleby brands too. When you start looking at those, they're all just top class. Our independents, best in class. I mean, we're very blessed here. We're very blessed with a lot of great products.
All right, a little birdie told me that some steaks are going to be coming out. We'll break away one last time. Thanks for being here with us today. We are at Elevation Foodservice Reps. What's the address?
It is 4925 East 38th Avenue in Denver, Colorado.
What's the phone number?
It is 303-750-3727.
But you can always do what most people do is go online, Elevation FS, Frank Sam, elevationfs.com. Back to studio. Oh, not Studio Kitchen, Colorado. This is Elevation Foodservice Reps.
Hey. What's going on, everybody? This is Brother Luck from Lucky Dumpling, 4 by Brother Luck in Colorado Springs, and I am rocking with the Modern Eater. You're watching them, you're tasting them, you're knowing everything there is to know about Colorado.
Hi, Charlie from Brews Beers here. Our new Belgian Abbey 4-pack is a mixed package of the 4 core beers made in Abbey and Trappist breweries in Belgium. So we have a single, a double, a triple, and a quadruple in one package. Now, quadruples are the emperors of Belgian monastery ales. They're dark in color, with a dense tan head and alcohol ranging from 8 to 12%, so they're pretty strong. Quadruples are very rich and complex with big maltiness, spice, and flavors of raisins, cherries, and plums. Alcohol is apparent in the mouthfeel, but not overwhelming, even at 10.5% ABV. So the finish is long, complex, and dry, and they're great beers anytime, by themselves or with hearty foods. Pick up your Abbey 4-pack at either Brews location, 67th and Pecos, or at Colfax in York, and at fine liquor stores throughout the Denver metro area. Take home some Belgian-style badassery today.
You're watching The Modern Eater, and now back to the show.
Rich, taste this.
Yes, indeedy, Mr. Tweety. This is the best.
That's spicy.
Looking at some food, and I'll tell you what, Jay and myself, we are in love. In 2021, I'll tell you what's going to be the trend: education.
God.
We're making education cool again, Jay. You know how? Emma Griffith and their Culinary Quick Start program. We are in love. They're using Studio Kitchen Colorado Monday through Thursday. If you have any desire to get into culinary or you're just sharpening your skills, I'm telling you, these guys, Chef Blake, Chef Marcus, they're instructing a course, and I've been there the past couple of nights, and this course is cool. It's informative, it's innovative, and it has the modern eater touch on it. You can tune into this as well, but you have to sign up for the course. If you go to themoderneater.com, you'll see it on the top navigation bar. It's a drop-down. Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start. All of the stuff that we're doing and sign-up information is right there for you. It's a gimme. It's free to you. It's like the cooking classes you pay for. Don't pay for them anymore. You just sign up, and what is the best part of this thing? We got jobs for you. The troops are rallying, the community's getting together, and there's a baseline. So restaurants, if you want to get involved, you're a restaurateur, you can get involved because we need you and you to support this program with your skills. So what does that entail? This entails getting together and having a job seminar for these students. It's going to be a baseline. You need a baseline of knowledge for your students for when they come in. You know they're going to be able to handle a line in a kitchen. So get involved. If you have any interest in signing up and being a student for this class, you can't get in on this 3 weeks, but the following 3 weeks you can get in on. Again, sign up, themoderneater.com. You'll see Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start. But we want you to join the revolution of making education cool again. Okay, back to Elevation Foodservice Reps, elevationfs.com. Shelby's in the kitchen. What's happening, brother?
All right, welcome back.
Welcome back. What you got going on?
We're going to make a kind of a single plate entree out of the Turbo Chef i3. And
Chef Le Bleu.
What we've got here is we're going to do a salmon fillet. We're going to do the presentation side down. So you can imagine that is our presentation side. We're going to put that down on the Turbo Chef plate with some asparagus and just some nice colored potatoes with some onion in there. Now, a single chef, this could take up 2 to 3 stations on a typical cook line, whereas one chef can prepare trays of meals, trays of entrees. They can be able to pull them up, stick them into a speed cooking oven, close the door, go to our program screens. I'm going to hit protein. I'm going to hit a fish fillet, 4 to 6 ounces, 3.5 minutes. So for 3.5 minutes, this oven is really doing the work of 1, 2, potentially 3 line chefs out there in the industry. So talking about
3.5 minutes and then it's done?
Well, this is a very special oven with a lot of air speed going through here, some magnetrons or microwave technology mixed with a convection style oven.
What kind of voodoo science is that's going on? That is
the engineers at Turbo Chef. They definitely know what they're doing here. So as that's counting down, let's quickly. We did throw in that steak. So in the CTX, while we're over here, another very simple cooking. We've got a steak running through here. I'm just going to take a little plate of vegetables and stick it through on my next rack. This is a split belt. I think we've mentioned it. We've got a belt at the back and a belt at the front. I'm sorry, I've got that backwards. I'm going to put that in the back belt because that belt's going to go a little bit faster for us. So in it goes. As that is going through the oven, we have a strip loin on the front belt running through at about 800 degrees for approximately 10 minutes. On the back, we're going to put through some Brussels sprouts for about 7 minutes at the same temperature.
Howard, jump in on this.
So
what are we seeing?
As one chef is managing already 2 entrees, very simply put, while we're here talking about this equipment. So Howard, do you have any inputs?
Just remember, for a busy restaurant, you're constantly adding more food to this. This thing would have product coming off of it. You could do
great point. No start and stop.
A lot more production, right? And you're going to reduce your food cost a bit because every steak that comes out of there is going to be cooked perfectly, perfect temp. Never going to come back, and never going to be a wasted product. So that's pretty important to consider.
What if I'm doing steak and chicken?
Okay, so again, we have two different belts. Maybe you're not going to get any flavor transfer. It doesn't matter if you have steak, salmon, or chicken in the oven.
That's a great point right there.
Right. So
no flavor transfer.
Exactly. So with two different belt speeds, it gives you that versatility. The temperature is the same. It's constant. We have the ability to control each of the 4 burners individually. Right now, we've got them at 850, so we're really cranking.
Unbelievable.
But again, the 2 belt speeds give us that versatility.
1 minute and counting on this, baby.
You know, another great thing about these control panels with these touch screens is you can see the visual. So if I'm a chef and I'm over here plating, I can give a look over my left shoulder and say, I've got 45 seconds to get over there. So it's very productive. It's a user-friendly operating face for us. And the countdown, you know, if we took that away, there's still a visual timer that's running down the line for us. So, you know,
and again, all on one tray. So
all
you're
on
gonna
one
be
tray.
A plate, very expeditious.
We've got a wonderful selection. Miss Kalina got us a Robert Gordon product today from Steel Light. So we're going to plate it up on the white bowl, white coupe dish today.
How do you get work done around here, Rich? This is the chef's
What do you mean?
playground.
This is
Can
work.
I live here?
Yeah, this is work, and that's what's wonderful about being in the industry we're in. And yeah, I got to tell you one thing, just a sidebar. We're talking about the efficiency of the Halton hood. You hear it running now, right? The way this hood works is all sensors. There's no on-off switch, so it knows what CFM it needs to pull. Right? So as these ovens crank up, it says, hey, it's getting a little bit hotter in here. Let's crank up to 1,500 CFM. Oh, hey, there's another oven that went on. Let's crank up to 1,800 CFM.
Let's flip this over
cool.
and see the presentation side.
All right, Shelby, you're about to hear the hippie in me here. I don't use microwaves because I don't want to take the nutrients away from my food.
Well, you are going to be the first one to taste this.
Well, I don't know if I can do it by taste.
That didn't come. Did that come? Did you have microwave on that?
There's a no, so remember, the microwave is adjustable. We can go up from anywhere from 10 to 100% microwave energy. We're not using that much, and it's in there for such a short period of time. So we've got the high heat searing and giving it color.
Great answer.
And texture, and then we've got the microwave that's just kind of speeding it along.
Perfect. Look at those potatoes, so perfectly
You know, and I
done.
always think of a coffee shop or a small cafe that needs the versatility, but they don't have the space or the hood capacity or things like that to show the different types of versatility and just how much menu growth you can have with one piece of equipment. That's beauty, Shelby.
Right? So, excuse my nice chop.
All right, Monica, come on in. First bite, Monica.
Come on.
But, you know, if that is our meal, one simple chef on a line can actually produce a single entree with very little hands-on capability. All the prep is done in the morning or before the rush. And then, you know, as we break into the salmon,
The flake.
we're
yeah.
They're really good.
You might want to get in there on the close-up view of that. I mean, we are translucent, perfectly cooked through,
I passed the fork
through
to
that.
the left-hand side. And over here to Monica.
There we go, Monica.
Take a look at the steak coming out of this CTX. It's a beauty.
I love it. Just the way you want it? All right, we won't make you talk and eat at the same time. You just nod your head. And the steak, Monica. Look at the steak. You don't eat meat, do you?
Hey, Greg, I got something in the oven here. Let's take a look.
Do you eat fish, though?
So as that steak's coming out,
good.
woo!
I know
you can
you-
see
I-
the
I- I know
caramelization
Greg
on that
eats
steak all the way
Got
through.
cookies going.
He wants me to
Yeah,
come have
cookies
steak
going
with
in the
him Friday
hydrovac.
night, which I think I could do it, Greg.
You look like a meat eater.
I am.
All
I
right,
love
me
steak.
too. That you guys, that looks amazing. It really does. Now, what would happen if you wanted to put it right on that grill right there? Can you do that?
Not on the conveyor
Not
now.
on these?
No, you don't want to do that.
Is there a cast iron that you can run it through to make it
So
look
we're just
like a board?
slightly cold on there. I'm gonna slide that just back in about maybe 4 to 5 inches and let that finish.
Designed to create that grill mark effect, and they'll think it came off a charbroiler.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we'll show that as soon as it comes out.
I mean, imagine a pizza place being able to use this, but also have steaks, chicken wings, salmon. You know, all the different things that you can go through this. Again, it's not the conveyor oven that you were seeing at the pizza place 25, 30 years ago, right? So So and the wonderful thing about the cooking equipment that we've got here, and the brands, really all the brands that we represent, is how they continue to advance their technologies and continue to grow. And I know that's kind of a funny thing to say, because of course they need to do that in order to, but the investment and the time that
Don't take that inflammation off of there.
Yeah.
I love that little
I know
car and
that a Middleby or a Cambro, they just are all about new products and technology. So
efficiency. I mean, going forward in the future, it's going to be efficiency, consistency, and expedition.
Right.
You got to get it out. You've got to get to your guests and listen. The customer demands a certain amount of service.
Well, and I challenge the customers as well, because, we all as salespeople run into those folks that don't have time for us, right? I just don't have time for you. I get that. I always tell my people to get that invite back, make it count. And I always go back to that cartoon of the king fighting on top of the castle, and they're shooting bows and arrows, and they're throwing spears, and he turns to his guy and he says, I don't have time for salesmen. And the salesman's back there with a machine gun. Right? And we might have that machine gun for you. And if we waste your time the first time, then we don't deserve to see you a second time. So,
well, and I would just say you don't have time for money then, because that's really what you guys are trying to do.
That's it. Yep.
Get the best products for the best value for you to make yourself running like a fine-tuned machine that you are. And that's what's been happening right now. People are rebuilding their businesses, and they're looking for innovative ways to increase revenue, and that's what these guys are here to do for you.
Well,
look at this staff. Look at these good-looking folks right here, all lined up, ready to go for you. The call to action is, and let's cut into this steak.
I mean, helping you make money helps us make money, right? So
absolutely.
So a perfectly rested steak, I think we'd want to allow a little bit longer.
Couple 3, 4, 5.
Sure, being live. Let's do a few cuts through here and.
I like it rare. That Dexter knife cuts through there like butter.
It truly does.
I always tell people when they're cooking my steak, just walk it through a warm kitchen.
You like it that rare?
It depends on the cut.
That rare? If it was up to me, we'd be going a little more red in the middle. But let's.
To me, that's the steak I want.
Look at that.
That's the steak.
We will
done.
Show some of those cuts in there. Getting it on TV is fabulous. So let's just kind of cinch that up.
So as Rich was saying a little bit earlier, you can expect us to pay these guys a visit on a monthly basis. We're going to really focus in on some of the deep dive things. And I think at Studio Kitchen we'll have a piece of equipment in there as well, kind of your equipment piece of the month, the focus piece of what that's going to be.
We do have products of the month for sure. Yep.
Products for the month. And seasonal type of thing. Are there seasonal products that people would want to look forward to have in their repertoire?
Yep, a lot of outdoor heaters. We have those little bubbles that people are using. So, Greg, I'm telling you, there isn't anything that we don't have and we can't provide for you. So.
If you don't have it, you'll find it, right?
Oh, for sure.
All right, take us on home, Catherine. We began the show with you. We should end the show with you. And as this delicious food comes out, you've got a great team and a great staff here ready for people to come in. But just tell them, I always say that 30-second elevator speech of why you should come down and visit you.
This is your opportunity really to come use your playground. We have chefs on staff. They're more than willing to help. If you want to come in and just play with the stuff with your own product, you're welcome. We're just here to assist you. What we want you to do is have that ability to come freely test equipment, which is not the norm when it comes to kitchen equipment. Once it's been used, nobody wants to, you can't sell it, it takes the value down. It's kind of like a car. Come, let us help you design the equipment that's most efficient. You're gonna get the best value and the longest life out of that. And we're here to help you as times change with COVID, to-go orders, the way your restaurants change. Let us do that. We're experts in this. We've got chefs. We've got, I don't even want to tell you the amount of years of experience we have in this industry. It would date myself too much. But we look forward to it.
And we have fun.
Yeah.
Come have a good time with us, We always like to yuck it up a little bit.
Yeah,
so.
it's a playground because we're big children.
We are.
We really are. So come play.
Fantastic.
Let's remember, it's not all about just the fine dining. It's not about the, upper casual restaurants. It's also about our bars.
You're going to drop some fries?
If you want to come in and play with some fried foods, we can get going on the fried foods for us too. So we really cover the bases, from your cafeterias, your ski chalets, your fine dining restaurants,
healthcare
elevations.
College
We can work
schools.
with you.
Yep, we got
I
it.
see Howard pulling out some freshly baked cookies out of the hydrovection.
You ready to put a little weight on?
Listen, I found it. And don't worry about dating yourself, because I date myself every night. And there's no problem with that. We are having a great day here, and we can't thank you enough for the hospitality. Find out why we're in love with these guys. It's for very obvious reasons. But get on down here, give them a call. ElevationFS.com, ElevationFrankSam.com. Look it up online, and we'll see you back here many, many times. So for Jay Parker and myself, Greg Hollenbach, and the whole cast and crew here at Elevation Foodservice Reps, we'll welcome you on Friday when we'll be at the Monarch Resort taking a look around. I don't know. Jay's going to wear a robe just throughout the whole property. You mind doing that, Jay? Okay, join us then, 2 p.m., The Modern Eater Show. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Big
you.
hand for everybody.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
We continue. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Amber with Strohauer Farms, and I'm just here to remind you that the best potatoes are grown here in Colorado. Goodness elevated. Thanks for watching The Modern Eater Show.
Hey, Zach Kreider here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products out of Lamar, Colorado. Your only local source, grown from a local crop to produce a local oil for local chefs. You can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, Seattle Fish Company. Let me try it one more time, then we'll see. Hey, restaurants, we're glad you're reopening. From Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, we'll see you soon.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.thespiceguyco.com.
Hey Modern Eater fans, I'm Don Trobo with the Annex by Ardent Mills, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about some of the great things we've got going on locally in the state. We're headquartered right here, and we're working with farmers in the San Luis Valley to bring you amazing Colorado quinoa. It's just like the South American stuff, but grown locally. We've got transitional wheat flour that's grown by farmers in Colorado and surrounding states who are in the process of turning their fields into organic. So we're taking that transitional wheat and turning it into flour, and now it's available for you to cook and bake with. And last but not least, we're now cleaning grain berries in Denver. So things like spelt or wheat berries or pearl barley, those are things that we're now doing right here locally and are available to you. Can't wait to share it with you.
Hi, I'm Jeff Nations from Aspen Baking Company. It's really important right now to support local. That's why I